A Sunday afternoon house fire displaces a Scottsbluff family of 5. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, a Scottsbluff family was displaced when a fire broke out in their Westmore area home Sunday afternoon. Firefighters were called to the 1400 block of Avenue M around 1240 for a reported structure fire. Scottsbluff Fire Chief Tom Shingle says damage was extensive to the garage of the home, and it was a total loss. Shingle says there was moderate to extensive damage to the house and several exposures, with an estimated $140,000 in damages. Shingle said the family of 5 was displaced by the blaze, and the cause has been identified as an unattended smoker. Well, the Wyoming Department of Health has confirmed a case of measles in an unvaccinated child from Natrona County, the first such report in Wyoming in 15 years. Officials say the source of the child's measles exposure has not been identified and say the child was in the Banner, Wyoming Medical Center Emergency Department waiting room in Casper last month while infectious. Those who were at that location from June 24th through June 25th may have been exposed and are advised to self-monitor for symptoms for 3 weeks past the exposure date. The Wyoming Department of Health has been working with Banner, Wyoming Medical Center to notify those individuals. Well, coming up after the break, Chris Cottrell goes in-depth with now retired Scottsbluff Activities Director Dave Hawksworth, looking back at his decades with the district.
Whether you're gardening, searching for the perfect vacation home, or planning your next travel destination, your life is just as unique. Your Raymond James financial advisors, Jody Rosiska and Kevin Figg, get to know you, your passions, and your vision for the future, so you can live your life. That's life well planned.
I imagined retirement in a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, so much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
Time for KNEB.TV, our Monday, July 7th edition. A little mini special here on outgoing Scottsbluff Activities Director Dave Hawksworth. We'll talk with Dave. We'll talk with his wife, Robin. We'll be inside the school. We'll be over at Bearcat Stadium, and we hope you enjoy listening to Coach Hawksworth, Mr. Hawksworth, Dave Hawksworth, talking about his time here at Scottsbluff Schools. Here at Bearcat Stadium on the gridiron, man. And outside of AD duties, I was telling Trayton, this is what it's about, Bearcat football for Dave Hawksworth. Let's just kind of start at the beginning. Gary Hartman, Joe Benson, Derek Deaver, and on to Judd Hall. How special, what does Bearcat football mean to you, Dave?
I think Bearcat football to me is just kind of the tradition that we have of our coaching staff is a real cohesive group. My time started before obviously Gary was the head coach, but I started coaching middle school football with Mike Hayhurst, Warren Osborne, and Archie Schnocker. And we just lost Archie Schnocker a few weeks ago, passed away, great Bearcat through and through. a Bearcat historian. My time with him coaching middle school football was Adam Reed's class in middle school is when I first started. So it was really fun to work with that group, their 7th grade year as well as their 8th grade year. And I just remember coming back the 8th grade year and how much it dawned on me how much those kids changed from 7th to 8th grade, how much bigger they got. But moving to high school, our cohesive staff that we had at Scottsbluff was the best. We had a lot of guys that had been around football a long time, knew a lot about football, were passionate about getting better, and we worked hard at it.
Even to this day, Gary Hartman pays attention almost 24/7 to Scottsbluff football. So from Coach Hartman to Derek to Joe and now Judd, you've talked about the cohesive nature of things. It makes such a big difference, program continuity, to have that type of coaching year in and year out.
And when I talk to other ADs across the state, when they've been looking for a football coach or things, that's one of the things that they've talked to Scottsbluff about. It's like, how do you guys do that year after year? And I really think it is, and just building into the assistants and then being committed, Joe and Derek being around here for years and bringing in the newer, younger guys and working with them. You listen to Austin Hoffman and Zach Parks and those guys today, even though they've only been a part of the program now just a few years, they say how special it is.
We don't need to get into these guys by name, but the players, man, the talent that has rolled through here. We could just talk about the running back position alone and talk for 15 or 20 minutes. The talent that has rolled through Scottsbluff in football has been unbelievable.
We have some special kids, and I think it really starts with them getting solid relationships with our coaching staff. And, our coaching staff gets to know the kids at a young age, and so I really think as the kids come through the high school and then start to develop in the weight room and then start to do the little things, I think of Coach Benson having summer kicking drills all summer long and meeting with kids and snappers and holders and just the timing of all that, the little things that happen on Friday night. Not everybody knows the time that is spent during the summer, perfecting that and making sure that that's just something on Friday night that we don't take for granted.
As an AD, I'm sure you've still enjoyed your time being able to be on the sidelines on Friday, huh?
I do. It's weird. It's like I as the AD, there's so many little things going on just as far as crowd control and making sure everything is running well. I don't really pay a lot of attention to the X's and O's part of it. I kind of just get to watch it as a fan a little bit when I'm doing that. So it'll be interesting to see the transition, being able to watch a little bit now and now I can give Coach Hall a little bit more suggestions. I'm sure he'll take those lightly.
I'm curious. I'm sure Robin will have plenty of things planned. Who knows what your travel schedule looks like or in and out of town, but do you think you'll come to games? Do you think you'll stay home and kick back and watch? Maybe you'll stand on the side. What's your plan for enjoying Bearcat football moving forward?
Well, it's hard telling. I think I'm going to be here. I say I'm going to be here. If I'm home on a Friday night and the Bearcats are here, I can't see me not coming. Am I going to say it's going to be a little weird to start with? But, yes, I see myself being a part and watching and especially like if I'm out of town or whatever, watching online and still that's what I did and that's what I still do. So I don't see that going away.
Hoping to still get you on some road trips with me, especially in this first fall coming up outside of AD duties. Hopefully I can get you on the road for some color because we've had some fun.
I would like to do that, and with my kids in eastern Nebraska, it'll be really easy we can go down and do a game and I can go on and do a little grandkid time.
So then I can drive home by myself?
Well, you might have to stay.
Dave, we're in the gym. So many exciting nights in this place over the years, whether it be volleyball, especially here recently the last few years with Leslie and some of the runs they've had, but with basketball, man, so many fun games. Let's just talk a little bit about the boys basketball program to start. Really, Tony Siski kind of got things rolling, turned it over to Scott when Tony took off, and this place is just electric when it comes to the fan base and basketball on a Tuesday or Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah, it's a special place. It's, when we remodeled the school, obviously we needed to do some work in here, and so through the vision of Justin and Andrew and the support of the school board, and we were able to give this place a freshen up, which it really needed. But when people come and play, especially from eastern Nebraska, Brad McMillan at Waverly and Norris and those guys, and they've been here and they say what a special place this place is to be in, and just the crowd support. It's small, and it really is a tight atmosphere with the 84-foot floor, and it's fun to be put in here on any night, and it's just electric.
The district finals here really stand out. By the time the ball's about to go in the air, when I'm sitting there ready for the broadcast, I think to myself, how does the opponent today deal with this place?
I know, and it's Bill, with Mr. Boyer being here makes it so special. Just the announcing and the music that he pipes in and the experience that he has, he makes it really special. The lights that we've added and the video board with the support of the Booster Club. We couldn't have done that stadium project when we did all the video there and here, and also at softball. I think that was one of the first projects that when I took over was that we tackled, and that was a large project. We have a very supportive Booster Club, and it's really made things special for our kids.
In terms of the two current head coaches for basketball, Coach Gullion has been here for quite a while. Hattie's been into a few years now. Those hires have turned out great because really at this point, going into each and every basketball season for both programs, the expectation is Lincoln.
Yes, and I think we've established that. But, you mentioned Coach Siski, and what has started that has really been our junior Bearcat program. The fundamentals that we start at a youth level, elementary level, and all the way through, you cannot, Andrew and I have talked about it, and we joke about it still today, but it's true. You have to have kids playing at an early age. And we're not necessarily always about games. We just want fundamentals. We want the ball in the hand. We want kids getting better, and then making relationships with their teammates and playing for each other and wanting to be a part of something great.
When it comes to the boys program, the amount of shooters that have come through this gym, it'd be hard-pressed to find another school around the state that can boast this much great outside shooting over the years.
Yes, and and me being here most of the time in the evenings and I leave, our coaches are committed to open gym time and getting on the shooting gun, and that's not just, it doesn't just happen. It's because of the commitment of the kids and the staff and the parents too. The parents are supportive of getting kids time in the gym, on the field, on the court, to make themselves better. The weight room, everything that we do has been what makes Scottsbluff special.
I guess this is a perfect time to touch on it with the volleyball team going through summer workouts right now. The life of a high school student athlete, the student part, I guess, stops in the summertime. The athletic part never stops anymore, does it?
No, and it doesn't, and we really try to preach being a three-sport athlete because we want our kids to be coached by different coaches and learn something new, and, just the benefit it has on their bodies. We really try to do that, but we also, we have a lot of kids that are in one or two things, and by the time they get to their senior year, they're really zeroed in and, trying to improve themselves and make themselves a better athlete all across the board.
All right, Dave, the title wasn't athletic director. Activities director. We talk all the time about the sports, but there's so many other different activities, clubs, things for kids to get involved in. Talk about all the different things that go into being an activities director in some of those organizations, and not just the sports side of things.
Just on the NSAA side of things, we have journalism, speech, play production, and that part as well. We have a lot of kids that is their focus. And along with that goes along with that is our musical. We have kids that participate in those things that really drive what they do, and they're really good at it. And you'll see a lot of kids that are in the speech and play pro, but they carry it over to the musical in the spring, and they're always involved in show choir and many things like that as well. Journalism, when Mr. Pitkin was here and Miss Kime now, have performed very well with our Bluff staff and the writings that they do, and a lot of people don't know the behind the scenes of some of the activities, and our kids are amazing. This past year we had runner-up in speech. We had a really special talented group of kids come through that did very well, and they also put on a great play production play called Seussical. It was a spin-off of Dr. Seuss, and they really worked hard on the staging and the props and just the amount of time that they put into it. But same thing with the coaching. Our sponsors really have high expectations for our kids, and they want to do well, and so therefore it pulls over to the kids, and they put a lot of time and effort into it.
And you guys do a great job of highlighting all those sponsors and teachers and coaches, and of course the kids at the activities awards banquet at the end of each and every school year. The amount of kids I'm not familiar with that are recognized that night shows how many kids in general are involved in something here at the school.
And we have a lot of kids. Like the NSA just started recently doing a multi-sport, multi-activity award, and you'll see we had several kids that were involved in 5 things. They're always busy. That also doesn't even take into account the CTSO side of things, the career student organizations such as DECA and Math Club and ProStart and HOSA. That program is growing like crazy. And from the activities side of things, really the main thing that I had to do with those programs was, just arranging travel, and the sponsors really do a great job of arranging their state tournaments and stuff. But the CSOs was also part of the activities position as well.
Okay, Dave and Robin Hawksworth with us now. Dave, I want to start with you. How important has Robin been to you and your ability to just go out and do this job? Because it is a grind, it is long hours, and you got to have someone that you truly can trust and love at home, right?
Yeah, I couldn't do it without her. Mainly as a sounding board, but also we also know that I've always said I'm not the smartest guy in the shed, or the smartest tool in the shed, I guess. Robin's helped me with a lot of proofreading and a lot of just being there for me when I needed it. There's the tough things of this as well, and mainly just to lean on.
Now, Robin, this is big for you because you get more time with Dave. Now, that's good, right?
That's great. I can't wait.
What's it been like watching him do all this work for this amount of years?
It's tough. There's times when he would come home and it's late nights and it's lots of phone calls and it's lots of hours on the phone and in the car. I just can't wait for him to be able to sit back and enjoy some of the things that now we get to do together. But he's done such a great job that I just can't wait.
The phone calls for him never stop.
Never, ever stop. Never stop. Thanksgiving Day, we have phone calls. Christmas, vacations, we have phone calls. So it'll be great. We get to spend time doing what we want to do. We get to go see the kids, and he gets to be all there, and that will be wonderful.
Now, you haven't been an AD's wife that just stays home. When it's a big game here in the gym, you're in the bleachers. I'm sure if it's a big game at the football field on a Friday night, you're there. You've been pretty invested in this.
Well, yeah. We've both been part of the school all the way through, so 30 plus years, plus our kids were here, so we had that part that we were both a big part of too. So I'm sure we'll still be in the bleachers every now and then, but for a while we're gonna do our thing, and then we'll come back and enjoy as spectators.
Now, obviously, an emotional time for Dave stepping away, but as you said, a fun time, things to look forward to. Is it a big honey-do list for him, or is it a big travel list and you guys are getting out to have some fun?
A little of, he has more of his own honey-do list. He's got things he wants to do, but I think we're just going to take some time and have some fun and actually be able to just be together with nobody else involved.
The two of us on some of our drives have always joked, enjoying a hot dinner at home over a regular dinner hour. You can do that now.
Yes, it'll be amazing. Like, we'll actually cook. Normally we cook once a week, and then he eats out of the refrigerator for the rest of the week. So I actually probably will have to cook more than once now. So I guess that'll be tough. But other than that.
Congratulations on getting to this point. The two of you deserve all this time you're about to get together, so enjoy it.
Thank you. We will.
All right, Dave, 31 years with Scottsbluff Schools, these last 10 years as the activities director, and kind of the swan song here as we're talking today. How tough was the decision? How long did you and Robin talk about this? How long do you think this was in the works before you finally got to the point where you said, yep, the time is now?
You know, I've always joked, even with Andrew and Justin, that when I did turn 55 after doing this for 10 years, as I alluded to earlier, one thing I can do well is work hard. And sometimes that's a lot of hours, which I don't mind, because that's one thing that I do well. The intellectual part of it is always a challenge for me, but I work through it. But I've really enjoyed the challenge of this. And so the part that I say about Scottsbluff Schools is just a great place because of the people that work here. And that starts with our Board of Education and Andrew and the superintendents before me, the principals that I've worked for the many years. Our school district is a special place.
How mixed are the emotions? I'm sure you've gone through the ups and downs of them since you've made the announcement and it became public. I'm sure some days it was 99%, yeah, I'm ready for this. And I'm guessing as you get a little bit closer to walking out the door the final time, that there's a little bit of that other side of things of how much you're going to miss it.
Yeah, I probably didn't really answer your question. Robin and I talked a lot about it in the fall, and that's always the busiest time. And, I remember talking to Andrew shortly into December and letting him know, and him and Justin know at that time. Yes, I do go back and forth. And even still today, I will say I'm kind of back and forth. But there are times that, I come home and go, yes, this is the right decision. I can't wait. But then I come in today and I talk to the volleyball coaches and Amy, Lise, and Leslie, and I'm going to miss them, and that's connecting with them on a day-to-day basis. The people is what you miss, and then the kids, because that's why we do what we do, is for the coaches and the kids. And I want to try to model to them, what it takes to work hard and be successful. And I think that's why our coaching staff and all of our sponsors, they work hard at what they do, and we care deeply for the kids.
I would say in terms of since I've gotten to know you and our travels and what we've been able to share with one another, I'm always amazed at whether it's other ADs around the state, people with the NSAA, whoever, everyone knows you, everyone respects you, and I think that just goes back to the hard work and the dedication you like to show on a day-to-day basis, man.
Yeah, and that's what really truly makes it special. I've had some Eastern Nebraska ADs that have said, that they really enjoy working with Scottsbluff now. And that's because, they see me out and about, and they see me at the conferences and the clinics. And whether I'm advocating for Western Nebraska, I'm still advocating for, how do we do this together? Because, Nebraska is a challenge geographically with the distance that we travel. And, we say no one travels more than we do. We travel a lot, and we have to travel a lot to find high quality competition to challenge our kids. And so because our motto here is not to make it to the state tournament. Our motto here is to get to the state tournament and perform well when we get there. And whether that's speech, this year we put in the time to make ourselves better so that when we get to state, we compete at state and not just make it to state. And so to do that, we have to do a lot of things that challenge our kids.
One example I like to give, and I talked about it at the activities awards banquet towards the end of the school year. The first year you did color for me on football, season opener was just a quick trip to Lincoln Pius. And we were trying to figure out when we wanted to leave town, and a day or two, like maybe Wednesday of that week, you were like, hey, can we leave a little earlier so I can stop in Kearney and go see the girls' golf team on one of their opening events of the year? That's the dedication it takes to be great, isn't it?
Yeah, and when you have kids across the state at certain things, it just doesn't make sense to ignore what they're doing and just go for football. I love football, no secret about it. I coached it for 17 years, and it was a big part of my life. But in this role, it's really trying to embrace all kids as much as possible and letting them know that no matter what they do, what they're doing for us is special. And we want to provide great opportunities for kids. We want their experience here to be great. And as I've always said to parents, we don't always get things perfect because we're dealing with their most special commodity, their child, and we try very hard to get it right. And we don't always get it right, but we try our best.
One inescapable truth, and we've touched on it: travel. It's probably not too far-fetched to say very few schools in the country put on the miles that Scottsbluff High School does. What sort of challenges does that present? But then also there's a pride factor, I think, that goes into that. The more and more you do it, that the kids really appreciate, and the families, because there's kind of that common bond for everyone when you're out on the road making that many drives.
Yeah, and the travel, I remember when I talked to Lee Dick about taking this position 10 years ago, he even said one of the things that you're going to find that the hardest is the travel, and trying to be at many things. Now, I've been fortunate. I've had Bert Wright through the years and Mike Berta right now, and there's been many others that have had kids on teams, and so I haven't had to always make those trips. But as you alluded to earlier, I want the kids to know that I'm supporting them as well. And so just this past year, we went to district speech in Lincoln the same time we were there for basketball, and had an opportunity to go and support them, and it's really special to see what they do. But yeah.
When we got to Lincoln one night this year, the hotel we stayed at was like Scottsbluff East. There was swimming team was there. There was another, I can't remember, activity, and of course girls basketball the next day at Waverly. You get that far away from home, it's always nice to see those friendly faces and the right school bus.
We pulled in the parking lot, and I think there were 4 buses there that night, and we were all in the same hotel. So we were able to connect with those kids as well as when we were there for basketball. So,
Dave, maybe a parting thought here. We could talk hours on end here and probably not cover it all, but whether it's a message to the kids that are coming through or youth around town right now and what they can expect when they get to Scottsbluff, or for coaches, admin, school board, whoever you want to address right now, what would a message be to everybody involved with Scottsbluff schools that maybe you'd like to leave on?
I've given this a lot of thought, and I would say my parting thought would be back to what I said, being a special place, but it's a special place because of the people. And I say it starts with the kids, it goes to the coaches, the staff that we have here. But when I think about Cindy and Laura in the activities office and what goes behind the scenes as far as the financial part of it that Laura does for us, the organization that Cindy does for us, being able to keep us all on the right track, central office and the financial part of it. You mentioned the travel. We are committed as a district to support our kids. Unfortunately, we are one of the bigger schools in western Nebraska, and we have to go to Rapid City or we have to go to Cheyenne to get quality competition. But I go to so much more in that when I elaborate on the people that have come alongside me in this position to help, whether it's our chain crew on Friday nights that's been doing it for many years, adding them all together, the people that show up for state golf, and our volunteers that help with that. We ask our community to do things, and they come alongside and they support our schools. So it's the people that work the scorer's table. It's the people that take the tickets at the gate, that come and want to watch our kids be successful at what they do. And like a lot of our elementary teachers love coming in and, a kid that they taught several years ago, and they now get to see him on the volleyball floor, or they get to see him do soccer or play tennis or whatever it is. It's the people that make it all go around and support. Showing up in the gym on it's great to see the gym clear full and supporting our kids. Our community supports our schools, and that's what makes it a special place.
Now that you've got all this time, don't forget to get that Elk North scouting report to Judd, so he's good to go this fall.
I will. I'm sure he'll probably take it to heart. So,
hey, Dave, we're going to miss you, man. I'll miss you in working with you in both of our roles, but I know you'll be around, and we're friends long-term beyond the exit here from Scottsbluff High School. So I'm sure I can speak on the behalf of many, but at least from me to you, man, appreciate all the help and all the support from you over the years, too. So going to miss you as far as that's concerned.
As far as the people that go into this, it's fantastic, the relationships that I have here locally across the state, and those aren't going to go away. And we're gonna continue to be a part of the area, at least for a while anyway. And we love it here, and I love you guys, and I appreciate my time. So everything that people have done for me and the support here has just been amazing.
I would definitely recommend Allo's business services to other companies. Allo's next-gen firewalls have allowed us to tie 6 physical locations together along with numerous remote employees to produce and collaborate and generate content for our local radio group. It is very important for Nebraska Rural Radio Association to have the best in internet and phone service. We rely upon that every single day. Allo provided me with a solution that fit our needs. They have a quality product, great technical support, and a local presence in their community.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
Let's take a look at your community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
When it comes to your health, you deserve the very best. At Morrill County Community Hospital, they provide top-notch care with compassion and expertise. From routine checkups to advanced surgeries, their dedicated team is here for you 24/7. With state-of-the-art technology and a patient-first approach, they ensure you and your loved ones receive the highest quality care. Because at Morrill County Community Hospital, your health is their priority. Visit Morrill County Community Hospital today in Bridgeport. Morrill County Community Hospital. Exceptional care right here at home.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, Scottsbluff County Commissioners today will take up the issue of the recall election for board member Charlie Knapper. On tonight's agenda will be a resolution presented by Clerk Kelly Sides calling for the election to take place September 9th. State statute calls for such an election to take place no sooner than 50 days following certification of signatures and proper notification to the recall subject and the governing body, which took place June 27th. State law does not give a maximum number of days between notification and when a recall election must take place. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you here next time.